Hello, my name's Larry Burkholder, Training Manager, Digger Specialties, manufacturer of the Westbury aluminum railing system. Thank you for watching this video talking about how to radius a Westbury section. In this particular prop here, we're going to install a 6-foot railing system, which is going to have an 8-inch offset. Westbury aluminum railing system provides electronic documents, so you can provide us with the distance in a straight line and the offset in the center, and then we will produce a CAD drawing so you can approve the dimensions you've given us, and the CAD drawing was going to need to be approved prior to release and production of the product. I've now unbundled my 6-foot Tuscany C10 radius section. This of course comes with the instruction sheets, the balusters, the bottom rail and the top rail already radiused, and the bottom rail support. You will always use angle swivel mounts with the radius system, and note I have them on here, but these are always sold separately and need to be ordered separately and are not coming with this particular kit. So just make note that the angle swivel mounts are sold separately. We're ready to install the hardware, and of course we want the bottom of the bottom rail just slightly 2 inches off the ground, and then we want the next rail 32 5/8 inches above that. There's multiple ways you can determine the first position on the bottom bracket. You can use a 1 3/8 inch block. What I did is I just measured, I'm going to be about 1 3/4 off the ground, and then 32 5/8 up to this one. I have the first screws started on both brackets. Of course, these are left-right angle brackets. There is a template available that works if you're using, not using the swivel mounts or the stair mounts. But in this particular instance, using the left-right swivel, you need to do it by hand. With the radius sections, you always receive extra material, about 6 inches of extra material on the top rail and the bottom rail. So that gives you the ability to trim down some material, which we've trimmed our bottom rail to the correct dimension. We have it snugly in place. We have equal dimension on both sides of the post to the first baluster, and both dimensions are less than 4 inch, so it will pass the 4-inch sphere rule for the building inspector. Once I have my bottom rail positioned correctly and I know the fit and form is good, I did a duplicate cut on the top rail. You see it fitting snugly in the hardware, and doing a quick measurement, we have less than 4 inches to the first baluster on both posts. Prior to installing the bottom rail on the hardware, we want to install our bottom rail support. We want the bottom rail support to be close to center, so simply finding equal distance from both ends, and in this particular instance it happens to be 35 1/2 inches, which then I of course marked. And this is a male-female thread pattern for a height adjustment. And I'm going to take this apart to install it. It's not saying you have to, but I'm choosing to. Simply going to place this in the center. Screw will go all the way down through. Mark my location. It's a self-tapper. And we're ready to thread this back on there. We'll turn it down the whole way. Again, this was an unnecessary step to remove this. I just did this so you can see how it works. And we're going to close this the whole way so we can tighten this as one of the last procedures after everything's installed. We're now ready to attach the bottom rail to the hardware, and you want to use the uncoated head, the uncoated flathead screw, and this is simply side entry. You're going to repeat that on the back side, and then of course 2 screws on the opposite end of the rail as well. We're now ready to seat the balusters into the bottom rail. In some instances this may require a rubber mallet, but here we are, we're able to do it just with our bare hands. And you want to make sure that these balusters are seated all the way down to the bottom of the bottom rail. Okay, we're now ready to install the top rail on the balusters. I'm preferring to work from my right to the left. I have this seated inside the cup. I have the first several balusters started, and a rubber mallet's your friend. Then just a final few taps to make sure that the baluster is seated all the way into the top of the top rail and the inside of the rail. We're now ready to place the side entry screws into the cups of the swivel brackets. You would repeat that on the back side and 2 screws on the other side. Then you're ready to put your decorative cover in place. A rounded cover for the top rail, a flat cover for the bottom rail. And again, you would repeat that process at the other 3 brackets as well. We're ready for final trim and finish. The caps are tension fit. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust our bottom rail support. And you can see this is a male-female thread pattern. And I'm simply going to tighten this until it's down against the deck and line this up so it looks good. Thank you for watching this Westbury Tuscany C10 radius installation. Have a great day.